This is like my newsletter that I put together for y'all. Look, the Juche Gang News. That's us. We're the Juche Gang. It's not Canva anymore. We changed the command to be news. Exclamation mark news. There you go. That's the Juche Gang News. See? 6/4/26. We got Iranians honor Islamic Republic founder. In Tehran, mourners gathered at Imam Khomeini's mausoleum in southern Tehran on Thursday to renew their allegiance to the ideals of the 1979 Islamic Revolution. The ceremony began at 9 a.m. local time, while religious eulogists paid homage to the architect of the Islamic Revolution. Imam Khomeini passed away aged 86 late on June 3rd, 1989. Hailed as one of the most influential figures in modern history, he led popular protests against Iran's Pahlavi regime, which was a key ally of the United States. Imam Khomeini spent many years in exile in Iraq, Turkey, and France, from where he led swelling grassroots movements which ultimately put an end to monarchical rule in Iran. The anniversary is one day ahead of another landmark, June 5th, 1963, the day Imam Khomeini's first revolt against the monarchy witnessed demonstrations in Tehran and Qom. And this is a ceremony marking the 37th anniversary of the demise of Imam Khomeini, the founder of the Islamic Republic of Iran, officially commenced. Yo, who had logom on vanilla ice cream? I need to know if it tastes good. Or if it's like olive oil, a chatter is inquiring. It does taste good. I'm gonna have to try that now. Alright, I've got another one here for you. Same, sort of on the same thing, but it says humiliated enemy shifting to hybrid war, again from Press TV. Millions of Iranians from various social strata, and as many devotees in other countries took part in the ceremonies held in Imam Khomeini's mausoleum in southern Tehran, as the mourners paid homage to the architect of the Islamic Revolution and renewed allegiance to the ideals of the 1979 revolution. The leader said the evil enemy has experienced defeat and profound humiliation in its confrontation with the country's armed forces, and now seeks to compensate through a hybrid war strategy. Ayatollah Khamenei had added that rising up for God is the foundation of Imam Khomeini's school of thought, noting that guidance, education, and profound influence on the Iranian society are among the most important effects and blessings of his life. The leader emphasized that the great Imam Khomeini and martyred Ayatollah Khamenei found and revived such talent and readiness in the Iranian nation. He said the schools of thought pursued by the late Ayatollah Khamenei and that of Imam Khomeini were of the same par, and stated that the followers of this school of thought stand ready to join the ranks to uphold truth, eliminate falsehood, and fight along the enlightened path. The late Imam Khomeini was the architect of a great and historic development in Iran, the Muslim world, and throughout the world, while the martyred leader improved and expanded it, he said. The leader stressed the necessity of supporting the oppressed as an Islamic, humanitarian, and Iranian duty, saying the arrogant system led by the United States has a problem with this nation and its unique identity, as well as its unwillingness to surrender. There you go. Pretty fire statement from Press TV. Also, third one from Press TV. A lot happened in Iran. Iran Navy targets command center. The strike came in response to the aggressive U.S. measures against Iranian commercial ship and violations related to the Strait of Hormuz, the statement said. According to the statement, the operation was carried out after Iranian forces detected and identified the source of the atrocities. A few hours ago, following aggressive actions, violations of the regulations governing the Strait of Hormuz, and violent actions against Iranians' commercial vessels in the Sea of Oman by the terrorist and aggressive U.S. military, the Navy immediately, upon detecting and identifying the source of those actions, targeted the command and control center responsible for them. According to the statement, the command and control center was located aboard a U.S. destroyer that was attempting to approach the waters of the Islamic Republic. Damn. Damn, chat. Alright, and your socialist headlines. This was a beautiful piece. To say Raul is more than enough. Viva la Cuba. This is from yesterday, really. But we talked about him yesterday as well. We're talking about him again today. Raul turns 95. It's no ordinary age. Almost a century. His name, though common, is not just any name. Earned through admiration and example. It resonates with the Cuban people in particular. Intimate way that, like that of a father or a brother. Raul is the one who assumed the leadership of the nation in 2006 when Fidel fell ill, and who in 2008 was appointed by the National Assembly of People's Power as President of the Councils of State and Ministries, and later, at the grand event of the Cuban Communists, as First Secretary of the party. He is a man committed to the unity and peace of Latin America and the Caribbean. The leader of the the process of restoring relations between Cuba and the United States. The international renowned leader whose speeches were applauded and followed at international events. The revolutionary concerned and dedicated to the well-being of the children, especially those with disabilities, and who has often been seen accompanying them at activities held at the Solidarity with Panama School. He is the voice that left us breathless when we were informed of Fidel's death. The one who continues his work, his ideas, and his dreams. At 95, Raul continues, rifle in hand, with his foot in the stirrup. A phrase of his that stands out when his name is mentioned due to the profound significance of his message delivered in 2021, when he stepped down from his duties as head of the Communist Party of Cuba. These days, throughout the country, one often hears simply that Raul is Raul. For the Cuban people, who know their army general well, defining him by his own name, which is a powerful symbol, is not at all redundant.
To say that socialism doesn't work is to overlook the fact that it did work, and it worked for hundreds of millions of people.
But rather more than sufficient. Happy birthday, Raul. Oh, this one I should show you on the full page. Look. Vietnam. This is Dieu de Pagoda. Dieu de Pagoda. Located on the banks of Dong Ba River, on Bac Dong Street, Phu Xuan Ward, Hue City, was originally the old house of Phat Qua Kong, the maternal grandfather of King Three Tre, where King Three Tre was born in 1807. After ascending the throne in 1841, King Three Tre ordered the construction of De Pagoda. In 1844, the king renovated and bestowed the title of National Temple upon this pagoda. Diu de Pagoda, along with the Thien Mu Pagoda and Than Dien Pagoda, are the three remaining national temples of the Nguyen dynasty, the ancient capital of Hue. That's from Vietnam News Agency. Here's one from CGTN for you all. China. Beijing approves space computing industry. Uh-oh. How are they going to spin this one? In the West. Beijing has approved the establishment of the capital city's first space computing industry innovation center, now set to connect the entire industrial chain of space computing and boost the development of satellite Internet of Things. According to the Science and Technology Daily on Wednesday, the Innovation Center has identified 6 major research areas, including highly reliable, heat-resistant, space-native computing chips, high-performance, high-interconnected space computing payloads, space computing satellite platforms, and standard systems, space-based large models under constrained power conditions, integrated space-ground cloud-based measurements, and control networking, and space computing power service-oriented and tokenized operations. The Innovation Center is expected to be officially unveiled at the end of June, the report said. Space computing refers to an emerging computing paradigm that deploys data processing, storage, intelligent analysis, and decision-making capabilities on orbital platforms, such as satellites and space stations, according to another report by Beijing Daily, CGTN. So while SpaceX burns, China's winning the space race. If you need me to sum up that article for you. And I've got 2 here from DPRK as well. Regional Development Policy and Rural Revolution Program in New Era. The core of the Regional Development Policy in the New Era is that anyone who is born in the DPRK should lead an abundant and civilized life under the socialist policy of the state, whether they live in the capital city or regions, in towns or mountain villages, and they should do so without fail. And the party's goal for socialist rural construction is to model all the rural communities across the country on the Juche idea and make them materially affluent. In just 2 years after the regional development policy was put forward, new regional industry factories have been built in cities and counties, accounting for 1/5 of the country, contributing to the economic development of regions and the improvement of the residents' living standards. Hospitals, which provide advanced medical services, and leisure complexes have been built to bring about a marked change in the promotion of people's health and their cultural life. Successful implementation of the regional development policy and the rural revolution program can ensure the balance of the overall economy, and thus enable the national economy to achieve independent and sustainable development. In order for the regional development policy to sustain due vitality, it must be carried out in parallel with the rural revolution program. One of the key issues in implementing the regional development policy is the normal operation of the regional industry factories, and to this end, it is necessary to supply enough raw materials and fuels to them and offer a proper balance between demand and supply. Basic economists reeling right now. Many of the regional industry factories use agricultural produce as raw materials, and various consumer goods produced by them are mainly conducive to meeting the demands of agricultural workers and other local people. Therefore, only when the economic connection between the regional industry and agriculture is strengthened by radically increasing the agricultural productivity, as indicated by the Rural Revolution program, can the regional industry develop at a fast rate, relying on the rich sources of raw material, and satisfy the growing material demand of regional people for consumer goods. In order to put the whole country on an even cultural level, by building up the regions to be as wonderful as the capital city, and transforming the environment of the regional people for a cultured life, it is necessary to make radical changes in the appearance and environment of all the rural communities, as well as the city and county seats. Pyongyang Times. DPRK actually focused on improving people's lives. But the human rights violations! Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry. Anyway, next article. Actually, I got a short one too as well, because we got some banger pictures from the comrade. Meeting of exemplary school, but at what cost? Meeting of exemplary school children. Oh god. Now this is the one that really terrifies the capitalists. Children with a union? You're not even allowed to have a union as a fucking adult under capitalism. A Pyongyang municipal meeting of active school children in displaying noble traits and pride-telling stage of school children took place in the Central Youth Hall of Pyongyang on June 2nd. On the occasion of the 80th anniversary of the founding of the Korean Children's Union. Present there were officials concerned, officials of the Youth League, young activists in displaying noble traits, and school children in Pyongyang. At the meeting of school children who distinguished themselves in displaying noble traits, the reporter and speakers said that the respected fatherly Marshal Kim Jong-un showed the great favor of taking a measure to give nationwide publicity to the Korean Children's Union members who displayed noble virtues and traits on the occasion of the significant June 6 holiday. They said that many KCU members are growing up to be persons of fine virtues and traits with a resolve to repay the benevolence of the respected fatherly marshal. They called upon all school children to firmly prepare themselves as young revolutionaries and patriots, who steadfastly carry forward the Juche cause as desired by the respected fatherly marshal. Citations were awarded to the KCU members who displayed noble virtues and traits. Then they followed a pride-telling stage of school children. Performers told about the pride of getting full marks and showing good examples in various good conduct movements, sports and artistic activities, and proudly expressing their honor and pride of growing up to be pillars of the country. Imagine kids actually having futures. What the fuck? Okay, but what about the needles all over the ground? Huh? What about the freedom for the needles for the kids to pick up? What about that? Think about it. Okay, and I got one last one because look at our comrade here. Kim Jong-un. He gives field guidance at a newly inaugurated nuclear materials production factory. The respected comrade Kim Jong-un, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and President of the State Affairs of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, gave field guidance at the newly inaugurated nuclear materials production factory on June 3rd. He praised a group of nuclear experts for having provided firm guarantee for improving the efficiency of all the systems, elements of production line, and further strengthening the production for the production of weapons-grade nuclear materials. By settling the problem, decisive in putting the production of nuclear materials on a Juche basis. So they're like, we're stepping up weapon-grade nuclear material production. What are you imperialists going to do about it? This has been a Tank 2 production, comrades. And remember, you can get this newsletter for yourself by typing !news into here and just click on these links and you get the full articles as well. Like so.